Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
In fact, we are going to talk about brain programming today. In fact, when I was talking to him one day, he gave me one book. He said, "This is the book we should," which I went through, and I got a lot of things which I want to share. Like I thought I know a lot of things about brain programming, but this book gave me so many inputs. So I thought it better I share this. So in fact, this I am doing for one full day. So maybe in 3 sessions we'll be able to cover whatever that lady has put in the book. So we'll take it one by one. Now we'll talk about brain programming, and in this there are 3 things which we'll talk about. That is how to do brain programming, which is important, and what is the programming language, and how to give instructions to the brain. So which instruction, how to give the instructions so that the brain picks those up and makes your life easier. Now, lost key of self-confidence. What happens is there is a lock and we are trying with different keys. Like suppose somebody is doing X job, he said, no, I'm not happy with this. He quits that job, he goes to next job. He says, I'm not happy, I want to do something else. Then he quits and starts his own business. Again he fails, he said, okay, let me go back to the job. So all these things are happening because he is not getting the right key to that lock. He feels that he is not getting the right key. But this particular lock will be opened with 2 keys. One key which that person has, and the other key is self-confidence. So if that person doesn't have self-confidence, it is like in the locker you go in the bank will have one key and you will have one key. So both the keys, when they are operated on, the particular thing will open. Likewise in life, if somebody wants what he wants, he should have self-confidence also. So how to get that, and that self-confidence, people think I have self-confidence or I don't have self-confidence. It is about programming. If the programming is correct, self-confidence is there, otherwise it is not there. So we will talk about that. So let us understand where that key has been lost. Now if we repeat history, what will happen? History will repeat itself. So history will repeat itself. So what people think, people try to do different things, but they are actually the same things. The most important thing is the programming has to be changed. Otherwise wherever they go, they will. In fact, it is said that people are trying to change the word, but they should change themselves. The word will change itself. So we cannot keep on changing the word. So one should do that. It is said success is not without, it is within. So within, suppose you make some changes, success will come. Now new behavior is required for different results. New behavior possible through new programming only. New behavior will be possible only with the new programming. Otherwise the person will behave in the same way, because the programming is, see, 1 plus 1, the program is done that this x plus y is equal to z. So it will be, that will be z. It will only add and give the result. If you want something else, that programming has to be changed. Plus should be converted to say multiplication or whatever. Now you must be knowing about this, Pavlov. Most of you are much knowledgeable than anybody else I have seen. So you know about this Pavlov conditioning. So what it is when they ring a bell and they give something to eat to the dog, so every time the bell rings, the dog salivates. So that is what, and this exactly happens the same way with human beings also. Whenever something happens to us, we feel, in fact, the way we react is choice. We react instinctively, but it is still a choice. If you talk good about me in front of me, you say you are good, and I have a choice to be happy. And if you abuse me, I still have a choice to be not happy, not getting angry. I can say, okay, I am not angry, whatever you want to say. The same thing, people like Dhoni and Sachin, they have mastered. They respond, they don't react. So the person who has done the proper, in fact this programming says you should respond in a way which is right, which is correct. Deepak Chopra says you have to think and then act. That is called responding. Every time you should not react, you should think and then act, that is respond. But here this particular programming, what it says is your programming should be such that you react in the right way. You react in the right way, which is the way response should be. So Pavlov conditioning, you all know. Now when there is a dog and the bell rings, he will salivate. He will feel that I am going to get food. Now if the same dog and there is a bell is there, but he is hit with a stick. When the bell rings, he is hit with a stick, he will cry. Okay, so there are 2 types of conditioning. Now there is a conditioning. Bell is ringing and he is getting something to eat, he will salivate. The bell is ringing and he is hit with a stick, he will cry. Okay, and that is the conditioning which happens in human beings also. Now suppose the bell rings and he is given food, but he is used to getting stick every time, he will cry. Even if he gets food, he will cry.
And he won't eat the food.
He won't eat. You are right. He won't eat. And vice versa, both the cases. Because he will respond that way, the way he is programmed. Right. Now conditioning reflects specific responses of body and mind. And body and, like I was saying, mind, like he's saying we should not bother about, it is all about mind. If our mind says I am going to run for 100 kilometers, body will make it, body will follow the mind. Now our programming is done in childhood basically. In fact, when I take parenting lectures, I tell that the parents that between 2 and 8 the child's programming is done. It is like you make a building, so you make a blueprint, and the blueprint of a child is done between 2 and 8. So parents have biggest responsibility. But in childhood, in your opinion, who shapes their programming apart from parents? Anybody else?
The friends, then the teachers.
Absolutely, friends,
and even
teacher.
the environment around.
Absolutely, conditioning.
Exposure to books.
Yeah.
Exposure to places.
And the experiences he gets in childhood, like he's saying, like I was when I was young, I was in a place where people used to violently fight in Bombay only, here in Bombay Central only. So that has remained with me even today. So I have not my first response is to attack violently, because I have seen people not talking verbally, talking physically, and that remained with me even today. So after that, when I shifted to some other place, those guys used to get scared of me. No, it is not correct.
Take care of yourself now.
No, that is also right. That is also right. And sometimes, you know, I will tell you what, in my building, so there are ways, like you have to, there is this kind of place for parking the car. So if your car is on the first, second, third, and if in the morning suppose you want to go, and your car is at the first two guys have to take the car out, remove the car. And sometimes what happens is, sometimes the guy suppose somebody has parked the car number 3, I am number 2. The number 3 guy will come aram se. But then I become very.
But vehement, you know, you want to give him a lesson.
Yeah, so I get wild, and then whenever it is with me, that person comes immediately. When somebody else is there, he will come aram se. There is one guy who is like that. So that is what it is. So I am saying this kind of behavior sometimes works. In the train, you say, request somebody, please, udhar jao, he will not move. But if you are aggressive, he will say, okay, you sit, I am standing. It can happen like that. Anyway, so childhood, lot of things, like he rightly said, so many things control the programming, that is parents' behavior and talks, how they talk. In fact, most of the time the parents, the husband and wife, they are talking about lack of money.
Yes.
And the child gets programmed that money is supposed to be in scarce quantity. So whenever he has money also, he will be always feeling that I don't have money, and he will become poor. So that is why you see people who have big land parcel, they sell the land, they are happy. But again in the same building they will become Gurkha. Maybe after a few years. Because the programming is such that I am poor. Friends' behavior, teachers' behavior, and situations in childhood. What situations the person goes through, not only home, but outside also.
But teacher is very important actually.
Teachers also. Now, I have seen small kids following teacher more than mother also.
Yes.
My teacher has said this, they follow.
Particularly
Nursery kids, senior KG, junior KG, I have seen, they worship teacher. They worship teacher.
Actually, today's kids in 1.5 years, they know more than what we knew at 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You know.
Yeah. But what is the reason for that?
I mean, maybe communication between parents and outsiders and kind of stuff.
But I read somewhere that, see, the man is getting, there is an evolution which is happening. So people are saying TV is there, or maybe internet is there. But our generation, next generation will be better than the earlier generation.
Yes.
And the problem is, the next generation, see, now suppose I am using pager and my kids are using mobile, and I am telling them what to do, but I don't know what is mobile. The problem is what they know, which I don't know. So I cannot advise them. I can only give them framework. This is what you should do. You should be honest in your dealing. You should go for something
Only
which is
values
that can be transferred. Otherwise, what is happening today, we don't know.
My limits only up to so much. After that, I have no idea about this mobile. You understand?
Yeah, right, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, most of the people don't know more than 10% of what mobile can do. So many things are there. Okay, so these are the ways which the programming is done. And our Pavlov conditioning, please understand. When you sing bell means these are the situations like incident, opportunity, challenge, problem. These things which happen, they are kind of bell, ringing of bell. Now there are two responses. One is the dog gets what first? That is food. That is food. Another one is stick. So in our case, what is food? Now bell is rung. The person who takes it as a food. Now he takes challenge, not problem. So what he will get as a food? He will get this thing as food. He will get success, he will get happiness, he will get joy, he will get same thing, but he will get all this. But a person is programmed in a negative way. If the person is programmed as if it is stick, he will get this as a stick. Failure, loss, blame. Same things will result in this too. So it is not this which matters, it is how our response is. You know that famous formula E plus R is equal to O? E event, R is response, outcome. So whatever is the event, your R decides the outcome. So in this case, our conditioning is such that whatever bell is, what these are the bells in our case, food or stick. Okay.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, right. But once see, I've seen people. In fact, whenever they get a problem, they get scared what to do, how to do. But all the opportunities are disguised as problem. Opportunity will never come that I am opportunity. It will come as a problem. And if you see all the inventions, they have happened because of problems, and they took it as a challenge and converted that problem into opportunity. Now, what I am going to talk about this program which I am doing, will it help you? Yes, but it will depend on what?
How we take.
No, how your programming is.
Yes.
It is upon your programming. Suppose I read somewhere in WhatsApp some message come, a drop of water when it falls in kitchen, it will be waste. It falls on some on lotus, it just reflects like a diamond. It goes here and there. You know, it depends on where it goes.
Correct. How you take it?
How will take it, and you call it that Sangati Dashi Gati. Marathi would call it. So will this program help you? It will depend on your programming, nothing else. Okay. Now how brain programming is done, we'll understand that. Now glass is half full, or now Narendra Modi is saying glass is half full with water and it is half full with air. So he is taking it positively, not saying it is empty. It is filled with air. Half it is water, half is air. But now when we are saying glass is half full or half empty, it is decided by whom? Who is deciding this? We. No, it is again your programming.
Yeah.
It is a program. We think we do that, but it our programming is. Because we are programmed in such way. Because Narendra Modi is programmed in a way that both are full, air and water, but we are saying water and empty. So we are programmed to see problem in that. Narendra Modi is, now see what he has done. He has seen air in that. See, 177 countries he made them follow him. He is a true leader. He did something where they are following him. 177 countries. And that he is working on our strengths, not on our weaknesses. And 97% of people, I said 97 because 97% of the people are not successful. Success is not only money but health, relationship, career, all this put together, that is success. So 3% of the people are successful and they control 97% of the wealth. And 97% of the people are controlling 3% of the wealth. Now these people are not successful in true sense because the programming is not correct. How they are perceiving problem as. If they are perceiving problem as problem, they will be down. If they perceive problem as opportunity, they will go up. Right programming is the best gift we can give ourselves. And maybe this is the gift we can give to our children also. When we, now I had gone to one seminar where Mr. Suresh Haure had come, he gave a lecture. So that builder in Vashi. So he said very good thing. You know, you have to stretch yourself. You are measured by the challenges which you take. If you think I have got 100 rupees and I will do something worth 100 rupees, you will never grow. When you have 100 rupees and if you challenge to take a challenge of 800 rupees or 700, then you will grow because you will go somewhere in between. And he has written a book.
Our brain will give
Direction there. But we generally say we play safe and we will never go ahead. He has written one book. It will be bestseller because the title he has written, उद्योग तुमचा पैसा दुसऱ्याचा. हां, उद्योग तुमचा पैसा दुसरा. He has written the book. उद्योग तुमचा पैसा दुसऱ्याचा. So I was curious and he explained what I mean to say. It's not I am taking somebody's money, and he said, suppose you have 1 rupee and now you want to do business. So you don't do business with 1 rupee. You go to your friend, family and get 1 more rupee. So now you have 2 rupees. Now you go to the bank. Now you take loan. They will say you put 25%. So you put 2 rupees, you will get how much? 8 rupees. So now you have got 8 rupees. So you do business with 8 rupees. Now 8 rupees you go and sell for 12 rupees. So you have got 12 rupees. So 12, matlab your 1 rupee has gone to 4 rupees.
Very good.
Maybe even if 1 rupee go interest, so 1 has gone to 3. So you made your capital from 1 to it went to 4 rupees now. So again these 4 rupees you get and collect 4 rupees from unofficial sources like contacts. You are 8 rupees. Now go again in bank. Now put 25%. That is how business should be done. And there is one WhatsApp clip had come, some Maharashtrian businessman. I couldn't understand his name because that clip was sent. He said, I have loan of 550 crores on my head. And he said Maharashtrians are generally told by their parents that don't have any loan. किसी का लोन नहीं मांगता है, पैसा देके भूल जाओ. But that is a reason why we cannot do business.
Every community,
Every community. But he said Maharashtrians, why can't they do? Because they say iska de do baat khatam. Karze ho na. So he said I got 550 crore loan, but I got 8,000 crore assets. So I don't have to, in fact he said most of the businesses are run through somebody else's money. And you know what? See, he said a very shocking thing. The person who keeps money in bank, is he rich, or person who takes loan from bank is rich? See? The person who is taking loan from the bank is richer than the person who is keeping the money.
Added to it.
Yeah.
Where I kept means I have given away.
And I am expecting X amount only, maybe 100 rupees ka 110 rupees. But this guy will make it 800 rupees. So he says this concept of I have to, if I am having FD, I am rich, is bullshit. It cannot happen. You can only grow by taking loans, and you should grow by taking loans and take tension and go up in life. In fact, I had gone to one seminar where Vitthal Kamath had come. He also said the same thing. That is the biggest mistake which our parents tell us, that don't take loan, because that is a mistake. I have to take loan. And whenever I have taken loan, my wife and everybody was scared, what is happening? I said, okay, I have to do that. When he came up with that hotel green concept, people were laughing at him. What is this nonsense?
Yes.
And in fact, you know that plate where eco-friendly. So that plate, you know, where they have idli and you have small pockets, jo jagah chutney rakhne. But that plate is designed by him. Yes, he said my father used to do the business. Then he used to give idlis. He used to put everything there. So idli ke upar chutney, dono chutney they are mixing and doing all ragda patties. So I said it is not correct. So let me have the plate where they will have two separate places. So I designed, he said. He said out of his own mouth.
Chutney and sambar.
Chutney sambar separately. It is not mixing in. Very innovative idea. He said he picked up, because few people used to say what is happening here. It is all going, raita fail raha hai. Okay. Now brain programming and reality. See now, this is a classic example that lady has given. Now there are 4 girls, A, B, C, D. A and B are sisters and C and D are sisters. Okay? Now in terms of beauty, they are given marks. A is given 5 marks, B is given 10, C is 15 and D is 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Beauty wise. So now in your opinion, which 2 girls will be more confident than the other 2 girls? Beauty marks 5, 10, 15, 20. Confidence in terms of they are told now you are beautiful. So she will be the more confident. And one more, if I have to ask you to select 2, who those will be? D is obviously C and D, right? But see what happens. See, these 2 are sisters, as I told you. They stay in separate family. These girls say. Now here in the family, B is told you are beautiful. Then A. So she feels I am beautiful. In this family, C is told, no, D is told you are better than C. And C feels inferior because she compares herself with D. So C is inferior thinking and A. Now B and D are confident. Even though B is only 10 marks in beauty, she will feel I am better than anybody else. Because the programming is that you are beautiful. You are beautiful. It is very important example. So how the parents also, they sometimes screw the confidence of the child. No, you are no good, you are no good. That is what happens.
Correct. Generally, it is the eldest in the child who says he is better.
Yeah.
So दादा कडे बघून शिक काय तरी.
Right. And दादा पूरा हो जाएगा तो ये भी पूरा हो जाएगा. So in this case, B and D are more confident. Because B feels she is superior and D feels she is superior. Right? Because the programming is like that. Okay. Now what mistakes parents do? Generally they compare 2 kids in education. And
Especially in studies.
in studies, and that is absolutely wrong because somebody may not be good in studies. There are so many examples, and in fact I read somewhere Fortune 500 companies of the world, about 80% top guys are uneducated.
Yes.
Henry Ford was a mechanic.
And world is run by average people.
And they hire these kind of people. They will hire MBAs and doctors and stuff. The lesser kid in the education may be better in somewhere else. But unfair, what happens is that person who is the kid who is lesser in education, he is taunted so much that he loses confidence. So he may be good in playing guitar, but he will lose confidence there also. Because he will say, my parents, see, for him parents are everything. Be all and end all. If he feels my brother is trying, I am useless. So he feels I am useless. Now brain programming. What is brain programming? Very important statement, that our belief about some particular thing or person or event. What I believe about that person. What I believe about that person is, yeah, for that thing or for that event, what my belief is, it is about brain programming. Now this can be done by consciously and subconsciously by self-talk. See, every time we are talking to ourselves, generally if you see, our mind is thinking and that is talking, and this programming is done through the way we talk. Now this is one example given in that book. What happened, there was a war which was supposed to be fought with somebody in Japan. So the opposite party was very strong. So the king said there is no point in fighting the war, we are going to lose. In the sense, the king said okay, we will go and fight, but the commander said there is no point in fighting the war because we will lose people also. Because it is very, very clear that they are much better than us. It is like Australia playing with, say, Zimbabwe. Now Zimbabwe is also playing better. But they said there is no point. Why to go there and kill ourselves? Suppose we are 100, we will become 50. So why to kill when we are sure of losing? But the king wanted to fight. And the commander, the topmost commander said there is no point, I will not fight. So the king goes to the priest. And you will be surprised why he goes to the priest. So he goes to the priest and he says something in his ears. And priest says, okay, I will take commandership. I will be commander of these two. And I don't know what he said. Nobody knows what he said. So priest comes and says, okay, let us go and fight the war. But the people there, they were demoralized because their chief has left. Why? Because it is impossible to win. The chief feels it is impossible to win. So why to go and fight? So the rank and file, they were demoralized. So priest says, okay, let us go. And the priest says, let us give it a chance. And they start walking towards the battlefield. In between, they find a temple. So the priest says, okay, we'll go to the temple. Anyway, we are going to lose. But last chance, we'll talk to God. And we'll flip the coin. We'll tell God that if head comes, we'll win. And if tail comes, we'll lose. So we'll tell God, you tell us what is going to happen. If you tell us head, we'll go. Otherwise, we'll sit here only, and after a few days, we'll go back and say war happened and we were outplayed and we came back. So everybody said, okay, let us do it and finish it off. But all of those people who are there in the battlefield, the soldiers, they believed in God. So that priest goes to the temple and and then he flips the coin and coin falls down. It is head. So their rank and file is very charged. God wants, God knows everything. So he thinks we are going to win. So they say, okay, let us go and fight. And they are charged. And they go and fight and they kill the enemy. They win. Surprisingly, they win. They are 10 and the enemy is 100. They kill them and they come back. While coming back, everybody said, let us go to the temple and say thank you to God. And priest said, there is no reason to thank God. It is you have won the war. They said, what you are saying? It is God who has won the war. The God has done nothing. In fact, I will show you the coin. It is head on both the sides. And they were shocked. Because, what he said, your programming was bad. I removed that and put positive programming. Your programming was for defeat. I gave it for positive success. And that is how they won the war. So it is all about programming of the mind. It is not about what situation we are into. If the war was won in 7 days actually. Okay. Now who can change our programming? Who can change it? Ourselves. These first is self, parents, even spouses, friends, well-wishers, guru, book, experience, etc. One thing can change your programming. Even you go in a seminar and one thing hits you, it can change you. Overnight one can change. So any of this can change our programming. But programming has to be changed. How we perceive things is important. Now self-talk, it is continuously on 24/7 by 365. We are continuously talking to ourselves. Okay. Now about 63 to 64,000 thoughts come per day in our mind, and that is the way we talk to ourselves. And it is programming is shaped by self-talk. The way we talk. Now in 3 Idiots, it is very well said that all is well, all is well. It's very important. You are self-talking to yourself that everything is well. So all is well, all is well, all is well. You have seen Dil Dhadakne Do?
Yeah.
In that, Anil Kapoor says, okay, I'm fine. There's some problem which happens to him physically. He feels uneasy. He says, no, I'm fine, I'm okay.
Very often we also say we'll try.
Not will try.
Yeah. In fact, there is nothing like try. You ask somebody to try to pick up this chair. He cannot try. No? Either he picks up or he doesn't pick up. Try is a concept. It's a window we open for ourselves to run away.
If you are not doing it, then you say
Yeah,
try.
try. So you are sure you are not going to do. आप बोलोगे कल मेरे घर पे खाना खाना, I will try. I'm not coming. Because I don't want to hurt you. People say I will try. Because there is nothing like trying. Trying either, and see, nobody fails. People quit. People quit trying. So when somebody keeps on trying, he will go and get whatever he wants to. The programming is shaped by self-talk. Now, 2 twin brothers were there, and one was a very big industrialist. industrialist, another was alcoholic. What must be the reason? One was they were twins, exactly same in everything, but one became very big, one became totally down because of alcohol. The same thing has happened with Rishi Kapoor and Raj Kapoor. Now his brothers have not gone, maybe Ranbir Kapoor has gone the other way, Rishi this way, but in this case their father was alcoholic. So when the industrialist was asked, how you became so big? He said, see, I saw my father drinking day and night out. I will not drink, I will not touch. And the other son was asked, why? My father was drinking, I started drinking. So the same example, how the people have taken. Like you must have heard the example where they were showing this alcohol anonymous meeting. They kept one alcohol in a jar and then they put an insect and that disappeared. Then somebody said it is good, but it will kill the insects from some whatever insects have.
In psychology, there is a very good saying which says the same heat that melts the butter hardens the egg.
Ah, kya baat.
So it depends on what type of a
Right.
person.
Right.
The same event, one person might take it as a challenge.
Yeah.
The other person might take it as a defeat.
Absolutely. There is saying that hammer shatters the glass, forges the steel. Same thing. Now, if you put in a water, hot water, you put egg, it will change. The outer cover will go and the inner will be different. You put banana, it will go totally soft. And if you put coffee beans, it will become coffee. So first two they change for themselves, but here coffee bean changed the situation. It made that problem into solution because that water which was the problem that became coffee. So how one does that? That is important. Now there was a man, you must have read this story, where he was used to leave those colorful balloons and children used to come and ask for. So he used to leave red, blue, and so one guy comes and says, if you leave this black balloon, will it go up? Because red balloon is going up, yellow balloon is going up. What about the black balloon? He said it is not the color of the balloon which is taking up, it is what is inside which is taking up. So it is about what, and this happened in a black community area where in US, where they used to call it Negroes. Now, Abraham Lincoln, his programming, basically he wanted to win, but a virus was, there is a caste system. In his mind there was a virus. Will they allow me to go? Now today the American president is black. Now you know who is this person, you must be knowing who is this guy.
You have given us a name already.
Everyone, Abraham Lincoln. I just gave the name, is Abraham Lincoln. And his programming was for success, so he tolerated, like Dhirubhai Ambani also used to say, you tolerate failure, don't accept it. Now Abraham Lincoln, now he has said that success is the destination of all efforts. Like the same thing Shah Rukh has said in movie Om Shanti Om. There, अपनी लाइफ में फिल्मों की तरह एंड तक सब कुछ ठीक ही हो जाता है. अगर ठीक ना हो तो वो एंड नहीं. पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त, वो है. The same dialogue they are converted into Hindi. He said that. The dialogue was basically Abraham Lincoln. It is not end till the time it is good end. पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. Success story or failure story. If you see, all the success stories are failure stories, because success is 99% failure. 99% failure. So in this case, if you see, Dhirubhai Ambani is only 10th pass. He created biggest empire. Henry Ford just a mechanic, and he created. In fact, he called few of his engineers and he told them that I want to make this particular type of car, and they said it is impossible. He said I don't know how you do it, but you will do it. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure you will do it because you have studied. And they invented that P2 engine or V2 engine, something like that. Okay. And same thing Ratan Tata did. We have to make a car worth 1 lakh. So you have to find out. You do whatever you want to do, but make sure you come up with that. And Lal Bahadur Shastri used to swim so many kilometers to reach the school. Now what are the viruses to the, basically the brain programming, what are the viruses? What happens is there was a study done where they have taken the fish, this fish tank, and they kept partition in between, and all the fishes were swimming on one side, and that happened for 2, 3, 4 days. Few days later they removed that partition. See what must have happened?
They were swimming only on
That side. They never came this side. Even though there was no partition, they didn't try to come here. So that was programming.
That is condition.
That is conditioning. This is what that faulty programming or conditioning you can say. It is not a reality, it is a perception of reality. Because they perceive that there is a gap, there is a wall, there is something in between. Now, you know that elephant, when he is small, he is tied up with a chain. When he grows up, he is tied up with a rope, but he doesn't try. Now, this one exercise was conducted. There were flies in a glass jar, and the flies were trying to come out of the jar, but the glass jar was closed. So the flies were trying and putting, they were coming and banging on that cap. But when they removed it, they didn't come out. After few days, when the flies thought it is going to be, the perception is we will not be able to go out. So they removed it and they were inside only. That is what happens with us also. We believe that this is what it is and we remain like that.
We are in our comfort zone only.
Yeah, comfort zone of the restrictions are self-imposed. And self-talk is self-fulfilling prophecy, tathastu, whatever we talk. In fact, I read yesterday on one person's t-shirt, it was written, I am good at being bad. So it was written like. So I was thinking, what is it? I am good at being bad. Then I thought, can we remove that? Can you reverse that? So I said, I am bad at being good. But it is same.
Yes, it is
It is same. So I am good at being bad and I am bad at going to the same. But it was very intelligent, 2 lines. I read these t-shirts because they give a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
They write so many things.
Like in some this thing, I have seen that smile, it improves your face value.
No, it is shortest distance between 2 people. And I have read that I was born intelligent. Education spoiled me. So people write.
Yeah, very good.
In many ways it is true.
Which one?
Because
Education.
it compartmentalizes the
Yes.
person.
That is right. Education will restrict you. Okay, what cannot be done, they teach you.
So they feel things have to go in this way.
This way only.
Means the person cannot go outside the box.
Right. Same thing, 3 Idiots, he is asked now what is the definition of machine. Then Amir Khan gives us definition.
Correct.
And he said nonsense. ये कहाँ पढ़ा? Book का बताओ. तो वो रट के बोलता है. He said this is right. Now impossible to I am possible. And now in this we saw this fish tank and flies. It was reverse was true. It was possible, but they thought it impossible because they could have gone to that side fish and flies could have come out, but they never try. Now Wilma Rudolph's story you must have heard. You must have gone through this because she was a girl who was born in poor family and she had this scarlet fever and double pneumonia and she was paralyzed. And doctor said she can never walk and she was wearing braces. But her mother gave her blessing that what her mother says, child will, if my blessings are there, you will go up in life. And she said, okay, you will walk, not only walk, you will compete in Olympics and you will come top. And she came first. I will show you, in age 9 she removed the braces, age 13 she came last, and in 1960 she beat Jutta Hain. Jutta Hain was unbeatable. Nobody could beat her. But she beat her in 100, 200, 400 meter relay. When the doctors had said no chance. That is why I tell a lot of mummies also that whatever you say, it becomes tathastu. If you say you are useless, he will remain useless because that power is there in the words. Now brain is an amazing computer. Now see, brain has a file where it feels that this is how I look, this is how I talk, this is how smart I am. So the brain has everything programmed. Like if somebody is like he is like Mukri, but he will not feel that I look like Vinod Khanna. So, but if suppose he believes that he is Vinod Khanna, his walk will be like this, his talk will be like this, he will be appreciated by everybody. So that is the programming is done in that way. Now keyboard is these 5 senses. They are the keyboard where the programming is done. Now seeing, taste, feel, hear, touch. All these are the inputs which we take. And hard disk, everything is stored. It is said that whatever has happened in our life since the time we have taken birth is stored. We may not be able to recollect. See, you have kept your book somewhere and you are not finding where I have kept it. Likewise, all those memories are hidden somewhere. If somebody can pull them out, one can even tell you, like one can even find out that is remain, like suppose you are born and your father came and he was wearing blue color shirt. That also is there, but we are not able to recollect it. So everything is stored, everything is stored. Everything is there and the memory is huge. In fact, I am now reading a book called Memory Power, which next summer I will do for kids. Now that Memory Power book, you can memorize dictionaries.
Yes.
You can remember everything.
Every,
So and there are techniques which are
even molecular weights,
Eh,
0.0000 something.
yeah. And there are kids who have remembered dictionaries and they can ratta why they will tell you what it is. And that book I'm starting now, but that really will help small kids to excel in exams. Now positive programming is very dominant, very important for success. Otherwise the person will be capable, but his programming will put him to failure. It is all about programming. The person's programming. Now if you see Ajay Jadeja, the batsman, he was not technically sound, but he did a good job. Vis-a-vis you see Sanjay Mandrekar, he was technically sound, but programming was bit negative. I will fail, I will this and that. So he used to get out. When there was a pressure situation, he used to go out. But Ajay Jadeja used to play. Steve Waugh in pressure situation used to fight. Because the programming was such that I will fight in pressure. Okay, this is basically what I wanted to cover. That's all actually. Any questions you have?
Very good.
In fact, it is there are so many things which I